Hello, welcome back to Let's Supreme Ghost Thief 2. We have arrived at mission 7, Blackmail. Now, before we start this one, a quick word or two about First City Bank and Trust, mission 6. I did indeed take an additional bust. Saruman pointed that out in the last video in the comments, that I did indeed forget to close a door. It was on the second floor close to the Great Hall in the north. Problem was I opened the door and then I saved, and when you do that, that's dangerous because you reload and you forgot to close the door. So that was a bust. Now that mission can't be supreme ghosted anyway, but it is an extra bust that I would have preferred not to take. But now I did also discover something after playing the video, through a couple of discussions actually, that there is a door in the guard room that actually can get you to the vault area without using the lobby. So without necessarily turning off the lobby cameras. But that door is pickable, and the nearby guard hears the lockpicks. So you can't do that for Supreme. But you can do it for regular Ghost. So if you want to ghost the mission, you can do that without turning off the cameras. But for that mode, turning off the cameras isn't the bust anyway. So then there's no point. Plus, if you do that and don't turn off the lobby cameras, you can't get the coin stacks under the lobby desk. So you are having to skip, I think it is 45 loot or something like that. I think there's 9 or 10 coin stacks. So whatever way you want to do it, I just wanted to be a little bit complete there and saying that you can get into the vault area for Ghost without turning off those cameras. But that wouldn't have been a choice of mine anyway, because I would have to skip the loot. So let us go ahead and continue and watch the briefing for Blackmail.
It's time for a face-to-face chat with my old friend Sheriff Truart. Work out our differences. Show him the little piece of evidence that I lifted from the Mechanist. I'm sure he'll appreciate the consequences if this were to be made public. Truart was acting for somebody when his cronies ambushed me back at the crippled Burrick Inn. I bet he'll be happy to tell me who that was. It was cocktail night at Truart Estate, which meant I needed to wait until all the guests had cleared out. Truart has beefed up security since becoming sheriff, so breaking in may prove to be a little difficult. Hopefully some drunken guest left me an open door. By the time I find my way in, the sheriff will be fast asleep. I watched the last guest leave about an hour ago, and the servants are no doubt cleaning up while the rest of the house turns in for the night. Now to find my way over that wall.
Okay, so Blackmail. This mission can be Supreme Ghosted. We can do that. We cannot Perfect Supreme Ghosted. There are a couple of pieces of loot we have to skip. And compared to my previous run some 10 years ago, there are actually a couple of loot pieces that I can't take, that I used to think I could. But there are a few that I am going to take that I didn't used to think I could. So we're actually going to end up with a slightly higher loot amount than in my original Ghost report. But let's look at the objectives. It's late at night, and the sheriff is most likely asleep in his bedroom suite on the 3rd floor of his mansion. Find your way there and get him out of bed. You must confront Gorman Truart with a recording. Use it to blackmail him and get the information that you want. The sheriff has caused you lots of trouble. Take some of Truart's possessions to make up for all the hardship that he has caused you. Get 1100 loot. You must get away to a safe location when your business at the sheriff mansion has been concluded. Even though everyone loyal to the sheriff deserves to feel your wrath, it's better not to create more problems than you already have. Don't kill anyone. Of course, if you haven't played this mission, you might not know it, but I assume you do, that there are going to be a big plot twist here and a couple of additional objectives, and there's even one bonus objective that we can get, that I will get towards the end of the mission. But yeah, it can't be perfect Supreme Ghosted, but we can Supreme Ghosted, so that's good. There are a couple of areas where we have to take a little bit of an unconventional route before we actually head into the main mansion, and I'll explain that once we get there. What I'm also going to try to do in this mission is point out all the pickpockets. I'm not going to take them, but I'm going to point them out, like I did for First City Bank and Trust, because getting all of them, if you want to do that for Ghost or even within Supreme Rules, that is actually very challenging. A few of them are going to be very difficult if you try to do that, and I'll point them out along the way. Most of them are broadheads from archers, but there are a few purses and some keys as well. So now we have the recording isn't shown here, but we are carrying that as well, and of course our blackjack and our sword and our compass and all that. The tip here only has like 3 sentences. It's from Tanis, is that it? It's some guy that I don't know who is. And it's just saying that there is a crack in the porch, underneath the porch of the entrance to Truart's mansion, behind the bushes, so you might find a way into the mansion that way. That's all it really says. I'm not going to buy that just to read it. But that is, you know, helpful, but for 100, that's not really worth it. I wouldn't really say there's anything you need here. A second rope arrow would always be good for Ghost. Going in with only 1 rope arrow is risky, but it's possible to do it in 1, so we're going to use 1. Anything else isn't necessary here to even consider for Ghost. Let us save. And then we will start. Let's look at the map. So we actually start on the western area outside Truart's estate. So the whole compound here is a nice big square or rectangle with the main gates where the cameras are that you just saw. There are 4 buildings outside that have loot in it, so we're going to have to loot that first. And then we are going to head along the southern perimeter and in via a canal here. And outside the estate, this is the only outside map we have. So there are certain sections on the outside here, but the whole outer area is actually fairly empty. There are guards that wander around, but there's nothing to pick up except for arrows from the archers. And there are a few doors here and here that we have to get through if we want to go outside. There's a chapel inside, that's this outcropping here. So that is accessible from the outside, and the main doors in the front, but those aren't going to be possible for us to go in. There's a back balcony, and that is the one that we will most of the time utilize here. The inner floors I will explain once we get there, so I won't do that now. But we will start, and we will then head north and take these 4 buildings first. Most of the windows in these buildings are flammable. That one is not. Here is an archer. Her arrows are not too difficult to move up to the south side there and take them. So that's the first pickpocket. Head in here. A green vase, first 50. In the kitchen there is a bottle of wine worth 50 and a cheese. If you're looking for foods. Now up here, there's the sleeping guy. This is a pickable footlocker. No, a chest with a rope arrow. But picking the lock on this will wake him up, and that's the first alert. Plus, we don't want to pick up anything we don't need for Supreme either. And we can make do with only 1 rope arrow in this mission, so I'm going to do that. That's it for here. Head back over here, and we have to go in through this window. Let's see, is it dark? Oh, should be normal. It's a little bit dark in here, but there's no light on, obviously. Here's another green vase. That's only worth 25, so total 125. Go up into the attic here. There's an open window leading straight out to the camera. So we can lean over and grab the candlestick, worth 50, total 175. But be a little bit careful here, because you can get spotted by that camera. There's nothing else of interest, and it's actually pretty dangerous to go out through that window, so I'm going to continue here. Kitchen, there is only a deer leg. I don't think anything else. Then we come into a study/bedroom. In this box is a ring, worth 100, total 275. And then there's a letter. Dearest Stephanie, I just thought I would take a break from all of my distractions to write you a little letter letting you know how much I love you. I know I've been very busy lately and haven't had as much time for you as I would like. The 18-hour days I'm putting in at the warehouse excuse me, are killing me, but I'm learning so much from the mechanists. They're a little arrogant, but they have a vision I want to be a part of. They are beginning to accept me, which means a lot to me. I've had to work very hard to prove myself to them, but I know that in the end all my hard work will pay off, and we will both benefit from it. Thank you for being my inspiration, and thank you for being so understanding. Our love is the most important thing in my life, and when the Mechanist project is done, you will once again be the center of my universe. I love you, Ekim. Or Ekim, not sure. Right. He doesn't have anything, so move out here. Okay. Oh. All right, so here we have 2 cameras, a stationary guard, and a couple of turrets, obviously, that trigger from the cameras. And then we have a patrolling archer. My ghost challenge for you guys for this mission is taking this archer's arrows for Supreme. So not triggering any bust for Supreme. No first alerts, no chirps from the watchers, nothing. And I would suggest you start in a safe area, dark, black area like out here or either side of this wall, and then come back there. You can, of course, save and reload during that, but you need to be able to get this archer's arrows within Supreme rules. Disregarding the fact that you pick up the arrows, of course, because that's an unnecessary pickup. Okay, so that was the second pickpocket. Head into the third building here. Here's a sleeping guy and a statue worth 15, and then 2 stacks of copper coins on his desk worth 5 each, total 300. Okay, make sure not to wake him up. In the attic there are 1, 2, 3 flares and a statue worth 15, total 315. See here, I think we can go out. Yes, we can go out here. So the guy in front of this, I think that's the light switch, does not have any pickpockets. It's just just a guard. The best way to get up here without getting spotted is actually...
Is that you?
So we have to wait and time him a little better. Okay, that's actually better.
I don't like seeing things.
Have to time her too. We are going to end up mantling into a shade, spot a shade there, but when we mantle, we are still visible. There.
I don't like seeing things I don't know.
So we should be able to drop down here, but we might need to just wait.
What was that?
being a little bit impatient here. I thought I had her patrol gauged, but...
Must be a better job than on private guard duty. Shows what I know. Sheriff's just as bad as those blue bloody noodles.
She has arrows.
Kick back and take it easy. Go napping on duty, short walking patrol.
That other guard there doesn't see you. There. So she has arrows as well. She's not too difficult to pick if you want to. We got to go around here to get into this building. Or actually, it's here. I just want to see something. Did I forget?
I like seeing things. Look here!
Oh, you get back here right now.
No. For some reason, I thought maybe I'd forgotten to close the door. Because I forgot that you could actually leave out the window in the second floor. And here, all these rooms are empty. This is a vacated building. You can see that the furniture is covered. These rooms are empty as well, except for at the end here. There's a sleeping pagan, and there's a knife next to him. Well, knife we can't take, but the candlestick we can. It's worth 50, total 365. Is that a pickable door? It is not. Just because that was the front door. We are going to head through this hole in the wall. And then we are now heading along the southern edge of the map. To me, it is very dark here. I'm going to up the gamma a little bit. Hopefully that isn't too bad. Well, that was actually a little bit too much. Step it down one. Go through here. Right past that tunnel. There's actually a secret area. A secret graveyard.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Here lies Iblis Truart Sr., beloved husband and father. Here lies Lida Truart, beloved wife and mother. Here lies Iblis Truart Jr., beloved son. So that's all the Truart family. So that's his graveyard, I guess. 3 flares, 2 moss arrows, and a grave, of course. And then there is a flash bomb back here. So that will be important later on, this little graveyard. But that counted as our first secret. Oops. Gotta love mantling. See, here's a guard. He's carrying a balcony key, and we are actually going to take that. We need 1 copy of the balcony key. We need 1 copy of an estate key that we will find a little bit later.
What's that?
Peripheral vision depends a little bit on the person. to the well and get 2 coin pairs. We're going to wait here and take his key when he comes back. So the 2 coin pairs were worth 40. Total 405. We obviously have to drop that back. Okay, I'm going to make a real save right here. And I'm going to show you guys something. Doesn't matter if we get caught now, really. Okay. So let me explain this floor. So we now walked in through one of these 2 balcony doors that responds to the balcony key. The southern one of those 2 is actually pickable. The northern one is not, but you don't need to pick it because you can just use the key we just took. We walked through the back foyer into the dining room. On the first floor, there's most of the activity here is in the east, where you have servants' quarters, mess hall, and kitchen. A couple of servants in here. You have a stationary archer that you saw in the dining room that pivots north, south, east. There is an area to go through here, but it's rather difficult to do that. And then you have 2, and later on in the mission 3, guards that moves through this entire area in a clockwise fashion. So it's easiest for us to move in the same direction here, to move around the premises in the clockwise fashion like that. There's a guard quarters here, there's a couple of bedrooms in the north, and then there's a chapel. But the chapel you can only get to from inside if you go through the Great Hall. The Great Hall is impossible to pass through. Or it might not be 100% impossible, but extremely difficult. So it's not something I'm going to risk doing. Because in here there's an archer that stares northwest and south, and there are 2 patrolling guards that both cover the upper area and the downstairs staircases. There's a ballroom here, and there's a servant that eventually will go back and forth in the south. And then this is a door that is locked, that we need a special gear in order to open. And that leads us up to the 2nd floor. So we are now in the fireplace in the dining room, and I will show you something in here. First of all, there's a fire arrow in the fire itself. But then there is a... Oh. Be careful here. One of the guards is coming through.
Thought this would be a cushier job on private guard duty.
If we do that,
That's what I know.
then we
Sheriff's just
open a
as
secret
bad as
panel
those
in the
bloody
fireplace,
nobles. Except
and
here
that'll
I'm
take us down
very
into a
contagious.
torture chamber
Who
in the
never
basement.
on duty, short walking
This is
patrol.
one out of 2 ways you can get into that torture chamber. But this is not possible to do for Supreme, because we are removing a light source. The fireplace was lit up, and even though we are not using that to move through an area that is visible, well, technically we are, because we could get spotted here, that is a bust to Supreme. I did not count that as a bust 10 years ago, but we have had some clarifications to the rule about light sources, and there are no exceptions to that. If a light source is removed, it's a bust to Supreme, end of story. So sometimes that will lead to situations that are a little bit artificial and silly, maybe like here, but it is a Supreme bust nonetheless, and we cannot use this method to get into the torture chamber. You can reset this, but both the fire arrow and the bonfire actually disappeared completely, including the light source. So I'm going to drop down here just to show you what's down here. And that counts as a secret. That's a secret we cannot get for Supreme. In here, There is a fire arrow. There's a purse worth 50, I think. Yep. And that purse we have to skip for Supreme. For Ghost, you can take it, but we have to skip it. There is a flash bomb, too. There's a valve here that you can use to open up this panel. And that takes you into the basement. So we're now in the basement. This little box here is actually the torture chamber. There's a guard over there. We're not going to head in here now. Now, as far as I know, there's no way to open this panel from this side, from this basement side. If some of you know about a way to do that, let me know, because then you can take these loot items. But I have not found any switch or flip, lever or way lock or anything to open this panel from above, which I don't really understand, because this seems the most logical way to get into this chamber. So I was thinking maybe it was a hidden switch or something, but I haven't found it. I'm not sure if any of you have, and if you have, please let me know.
Thought I heard something.
Yeah, okay. Also, in here, there is a nugget up ahead, but the only way to open this gate is from inside. Now, what you can do is you can lean through, which seems logical because the bars are pretty far apart. And flip that switch. This gate cannot be reclosed, by the way. And then you can go and get that nugget. At the other side of this, you have the catacombs. You can hear a haunt here. And the only way to get in from the catacombs is to break this board. You can lean through, but you cannot penetrate through this area. So that is also a bust to Supreme and to regular Ghost. So we have to skip this nugget as well. So there's a total of 100 loot that we have to skip for Supreme because of this. But if there was a way to get in here, then you could take that 100 loot. So I didn't count that as a bust in my original report, so I included this 100 loot, but that has to be skipped for Supreme. So these two loot items are not taken in my run. Especially since the mission can be Supreme Ghosted overall, I want to avoid that. Now, we still want to get into the basement, because the guard that you saw has a purse. Now, there is a way down into the basement from the kitchen. There's a staircase down, but there's an archer right outside that staircase. And I'm not 100% sure if you have to actually nudge him out of the way a little bit. I think you can squeeze by him, but it's very difficult, and it'll take a lot of tries to get by him, because he pivots and turns around quite frequently, so he'll spot us. And you also have to time the other patroller. So I'm instead going to take a different route to get into the basement and also get into the catacombs a different way. And that is actually up here. I'm gonna head up here. So we're now going east, no, north. Oh, I did not know he could see me from that far away. Okay. So we're going to take a little scenic trip around the manor. In order to avoid this. Oh, he saw me now. So this we're basically doing in order to get 2 pieces of loot. That otherwise...
Looks like nothing.
Whoa. Go a little bit slower here. Okay. So in order for us to get down here, now it's a little bit dark here, but that's just good for us at this point. We want to do this. Want to slide backwards onto this arrow, and then we want to grab it. We don't want to leave it here. There. That archer over there has arrows. That is I believe that is the 5th pickpocket. And the archer up on the wall here has arrows. You can sneak over along the wall there slowly and get it, no problem. So she has the 6th arrow. So you can just climb up the ladder and wait for her to pass and then sort of scoot up and get him. This is the chapel. I think we're going to go in through the other side, actually. No, we are not. There we go. So now we're on the back of the chapel. So here, smash this. We get into a crawl space behind a locked door to a bedroom. Keep that in mind. Obviously can't slash banners for Supreme nor Ghost. This is the chapel. You can hear the haunt that we heard earlier. He's actually below here. On the wall is a broadhead arrow, and it's pointing up to a hammer symbol on the wall. Now what you're meant to do is actually shoot an arrow in there. I don't want to pick up an arrow unnecessarily and use it, but you can use scouting orbs to click buttons very effectively, just like we did in shipping and receiving. They can be retrieved, they're silent, perfect. So that is a secret. That was our 2nd secret, wasn't it? Because we didn't get the count for the torture chamber. Let's wait for the haunt to come by here. He has an invisibility potion, actually, on his belt. That is the 7th pickpocket. Head in here. The only thing that we need in here is a gold skull. Worth 100, total 505. Oops. And here is the boarded up passage to the silver nugget. That's all there really is in the catacombs. I think they're kind of disappointing, but at least it's there. We can't close this up, at least not that I know of. Let's try. I don't think so. Nope. Alright. So we are now in the chapel, and that takes us down south towards the Great Hall. Here's a readable. We all know that many criminals harbor a vendetta against me, so I've decided to have a mechanist install several security devices throughout the estate. A new mechanism has been installed to lock all doors leading up to higher floors in the mansion. These doors cannot be forced open or unlocked using conventional means. All doorways that lead to upper levels will be locked every night and will unlock again in the morning. Sheriff Truart. Okay. So this is the Great Hall. A marbled nightmare. Brightly lit. Some wood around, so you can actually rope arrow up here. Stationary archer and another patrolling one down here. There are 3 pieces of loot up top. But I've tried, and there's no way to... There might be a way if you're super lucky, but there's no easy way to get upstairs from that door. Okay, this is another archer with broadheads. This is the front door right here. We're in the northwest right now. We are actually crawling just south of this area. So in this is an empty area. I believe these 2 areas here too are empty. Here's another archer. That is the 9th pickpocket. And here is the hole underneath the porch, behind the bushes. So now we're in the basement. Over here is a room. This is just connecting the same area underneath the porch. And in this, there is a gas mine. So we are going to get the purse from that guard.
Who's that?
I thought maybe I could grab it and then go, but I can't, so we have to actually follow him. So this is the entrance down to the torture chamber then from above when it's closed. So I wish there was a way to open it. I don't know, when I came here I seem to remember that there was a way to open it, but... Secret... I was expecting some kind of a torch or something, but no. So the reason we had to go this way is because this purse and the skull in the catacombs. Head up here. We actually come out on the south side of the Great Hall, right here. So that we obviously are not going to do. So now we are over here. So I am going to take us all the way around, just so I can show you the other archers with pickpockets, and show you how to get past that area. It will be the same distance either way here. Guard is probably coming our way.
Let's see.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna have to wait for him. So this outside area is, to me, a little bit tedious. It's very large, a lot of patrollers, there's nothing to do there. Really, the only purpose it serves is to link certain areas of the mansion, certain areas, points of entry. That's really all it is.
Jordan.
And now he's coming back. It was because of the other archer there I couldn't go earlier. There's no way to get up either to any of the upper floors. At least not here. There we go. There's a female archer up here.
Something there?
So she hears, there's one of them that hears the door, and she does. She's just more alert for some reason than the other ones.
About time we cleaned up those cesspools of filthy tappers. And every one of them either buying or selling. That's the best thing for them.
Go up this ladder and get her arrows too. So that's the 11th pickpocket, I think. Go through here. We're now in the southern area. We're moving over to this door. Here you can actually move pretty fast along the way here, and then you have to crouch down. This is the 12th pickpocket. This is the last set of broadheads close to the back door. Get up here this way. Okay. Save it there. Now you can actually get up to the second floor this way with a mantled jump. Not sure if that's possible in Old Dark 100%, but I think so. So this is the second floor, and you can actually get up to the third floor too this way. Oh, you can. Let me show you how. Should be able to at least. Yes. So, bloodstain. Foreshadowing things to come. So, when I planned my route around this mission, I was looking to see if there was a way to avoid picking up two of the gears. Because you need special gears, as one of the readables pointed to get up to the second floor, and to get up from the second floor to the third floor. And you can obviously get up to the balconies, like I just showed you. However, that posed a couple of problems, because there are conversations at the top of each floor that only trigger when you go through the staircase the normal way. So if those conversations don't trigger, the guards involved in the conversations will not leave where they're standing. And those hallways are going to be essential for us to walk through. So that wasn't very practical for me to do. Also, there's one guard on the third floor that has a purse that's involved in a conversation, and you cannot get that purse unless you come from the second floor up the stairs. So that solidified it. So then that's when I decided that I had to take the conventional route and sort of just walk through the floors the way we're supposed to. So we can drop down here. We probably just have to drop into a mantle or something. Should be able to do this. I've done this several times.
Yep.
There. Now we can head inside. Okay, we've got to be a little bit fast here. This is an exposed area. In the pool there are 8 coins. We're actually safe here. They are worth 5 each, so that's a total of $5.95. See, I'm going to wait for a patroller to come by here. Yeah. And maybe that is the patroller with one of the gears, because I do need one. If not, it's okay. That was not the one. So there's another one that has an identical patrol that has the gear then that we have to look for. And that would be the 13th pickpocket. Make another real save. Let's see. I have to dodge this archer here. Go through here. Might not look like it, but it's actually very dark in this region. I mean, the lighting is here is beautiful. Look at that lighting. sneak by here pretty easily. Green vase, too, that we need. Total 645. Nothing else in here. Of course, she has broadheads. So that will be the 14th pickpocket. We haven't seen the Metal Gear guy.
Thought this be a
Then there's a conversation in the kitchen.
private guard duty. This was what I know. Sheriff's just
Can you
as bad.
believe this mess they expect us to clean up? There was some moron passed out drunk under the table in the ballroom, and it looks like they had a food fight in there.
Bunch of taffers in this city. I caught some woman in the kitchen earlier with a guilty look on her face. She was probably stealing the silverware.
The sheriff certainly keeps, how should I say it, eccentric company. I'm definitely not looking forward to the next dinner party he throws.
Me neither. Hey, listen, I'd love to sit and chat, but I got a huge mess to clean up in the ballroom. So I'll catch you later.
Hey, hold up, do you have one of those gears? Some taffer spilled meat all over the carpet in the game room, and I need to clean it up. All the doors leading up there are locked, and I don't have a gear to open that new door.
Sorry, they never gave me one. Check with one of the guards.
Okay, I'm not sure if we can do this yet, but...
What was that?
Yeah, she will see us for a portion of the way here. We got to get 2 pieces of loot.
I want to know who came up with the stupid idea of no.
What's that?
And we got to make sure we don't tap our feet either. This might take a couple of tries.
That's how we cleaned up those cesspools of filthy tappers. Every one of them.
So another one in the sink here. Good. Got those without any alerts. It can be difficult. 2 plates worth 20. Total 665. We also need the estate key from that servant. He's the only guy on the lower floor that has the estate key. There is a guard on the upper floor, but that one is very, very useful. There's also a cheese and an apple and a loaf on the counters over there. There's actually quite a challenge to get all those pieces because of the amount of patrollers here, but not too difficult. You can just use the method that I just showed you. If we head down here, this is the archer that has more arrows. So that would be the, let's see, that would be the 15th pickpocket, and the estate key from this servant that we're going to take is the 16th. So let's hang on a little bit and see. I usually like to wait for one of the guards to come by here and follow him.
I heard.
Okay, so now we are in the mess hall. All that's in here is a loaf of bread, nothing else. And now we are staring down the hallway to the west, and now we can grab his estate key, can't we? Yes, we can. That just unlocks a bunch of doors around the premise that can be picked, or that only responds to the key. We have to drop that back later on, but that is a necessary pickup for Supreme. I'm going to show you in here is the arboretum, or the greenhouse. And there's one moss arrow here. I don't think there's anything else. That's it, a moss arrow. This is the ballroom. The ballroom is pickable, this door, but it also responds to the estate key. Those doors are very, very dangerous for Supreme, if you will. Because you might not know that it's lockable even though you can pick it. But for Supreme, it's required to lock all doors, even those that you pick open.
Who's that?
Yeah, he does wake up if you're too loud there. I was probably a little bit too loud.
Who's that?
Let's see. Why don't we do this? What on earth? Sometimes I swear I make the strangest decisions. There's wood and I choose to use marble. Anyway, 3 plates worth 30, total 695. And I'm just going to show you the other entrance into the ballroom then. No, this is the ballroom. Into the Great Hall, isn't that what it's called? Yep.
Yes, sir. Hey, is anyone there?
So that's where we came out.
Just the jitters, I got.
So there's the archer with even more. That's the 17th pickpocket.
Nobody.
She's also very difficult to pickpocket. Another challenge, but I'm going to keep the main challenge to the ones I pointed out at the beginning of the mission, but that is another one. But that one is just a matter of trial and error. So many times it just becomes tedious. So he can unlock the door even though we took his key. Interesting. And here's a readable. This is the servants' quarters. Charlie, remember how I told you that the Alchemist's was just a front shop? I'm sure of it now. I was just there this evening and started to go in when the owner shut the door in my face. And there were people in the store, standing about as bold as you please. Lucy. I'm not sure what that's referring to, but maybe the mechanists are using that shop as the creation of something else, maybe one of their tools or something like that. I mean, an alchemist store. So, if you want this archer's broadheads, then just come from this end. That's easier. So we've seen 17 pickpockets so far. Here is the locking mechanism for the gear. We're going to read the mechanist instructions. If thou wouldst unlock this kind of door, thou wilt needest use the appropriate gear. Insert thou the correct gear unto the locking mechanism. When the mechanism be complete with the correct gear, then marvel thou as the gears turn to unlock the door. For those with no eye to tell one gear from its cousin, know thou that if thou use the incorrect gear, the mechanism shall fail thee, and nothing shall happen. If thou hast concerns, please bring them unto me, friend Capezza. I'm amused by how much instruction is needed to be given just for a new type of a key. That's all it is. The gear is a key. If you don't use the right key, you don't open the door. That's pretty obvious. So we have a couple of rooms here in the north now. This door is pickable, but it does unlock to the estate key. going to head in here. The only thing of interest in here is another secret. And that opens a floor panel with a diamond. Total $7.95. Close it back up. And then we get to another loot item that we have to skip here. This other bedroom has a sleeping noble in it. And there's nothing of interest in here except for this door that has to be picked.
Who made that noise?
And then he wakes up, and that is a first alert. Not possible for Supreme Ghost. It is possible for regular Ghost, though. So you can take this for Ghost. You can actually perfect Supreme Ghost this mission. No, perfect Thief this mission. And in here is another chest that responds to the estate key, and in there is a silver nugget worth 50. So that is one we have to skip. This is actually the wall door that we saw from the other side when we slashed this banner. For regular Ghost, you can just...
Who's there? How dare you!
If you don't get that clunk, you can just walk in behind him and then walk up to the door and leave again. No problem. I'm not going to do that because I Supreme Ghost. Oy, oy, oy. All right. I'm going to head in here. This is the guards' quarters. That's the last place we have been to. Last place we have not been to, yeah. Let's see. In the guards' quarters, there is a... two broadheads, I think. Maybe three. A mine. And this is a pickable footlocker with a healing potion. But if you pick this open, this guard will wake up. So that is the Supreme Bust. And unfortunately, this footlocker is also pickable. And it also contains a silver nugget. And that wakes up the guard too, so we have to skip that as well. But this loot item we can take a gold candlestick worth 50, total 845. And there's a readable here. Watch Officer Morgan. Have I got a deal for you? I know Truart's been looking for the pagan outlaws for months. I should be able to provide one, right for the plucking, when he leaves the city. I hear he's smuggling in some banned herbals. If I can learn any more, I will of course let you know, but I don't. But I do know he'll be leaving around midnight at the Carter's Gate. Jabril. So let me just show you.
What was that noise?
So something else that's interesting is that once he wakes up, he is actually set as a patroller in Dromed. So he doesn't just station himself in the bed, he actually starts patrolling. So it's, I don't know, I think that's kind of amusing. It's almost like he took a nap when he wasn't supposed to. He was supposed to be patrolling, but then you wake him up, he remembers he has to patrol, and he goes. So 200 loot so far that we have skipped, and that's all of it. 3 nuggets and 1 purse. We are now going to head upstairs. We're done on the first floor. We'll just wait for this swordsman to pass. So it would be highly beneficial if we were able to skip this door, because you cannot relock the door and you can't return the gear or the key. But it's not a supreme bust because there's no way to return it. There's no way to retrieve the gear and therefore lock the door. It isn't lockable, so that's okay. Okay, we're going to listen to a conversation here. I'm going to real save it first.
Hey! Did you try any of that food left over from the night's dinner party?
Are you kidding? Not even rats would touch that garbage.
Well, I liked it. And I'm gonna go down to the kitchen and get me some more of it.
We'll have fun, Taffer. I'm gonna go look for old Benny. I bet he's getting drunk in the game room again. Oh, don't trip over your own feet in the dark again. This time, try turning on the lights.
I'll see if I can find the switch. And tell Benny I'll save him some tasty morsels in the kitchen.
So this guard has a metal gear, so we need to get that as well from him. We need 3 gears in total, 2 metals and 1 silver. There are 2 bronze gears on the top floor, but we do not need those. So that was actually wasn't that the 18th pickpocket? I believe so. Okay. So we can actually now... Are we going to do that now, or are we going to do that later? Let's do this later. I could now go in and get the loot from the Great Hall. I think I'm going to do that later, to be honest with you. This is the door that's only openable from the other side. Mostly because I don't want to leave these doors open. Yeah, no, I'm going to do that later, just in case. So we are now on the 2nd floor. We're headed down this hallway. So you can access the Great Hall from up here, and that's what we needed that metal gear for. Because from the top floor double doors, we can actually take the loot pieces around here much easier than coming up from below. And like I said, I don't even know if that's possible. On the 2nd floor, you have the game room, is sort of the central area. That's actually quite difficult. But you can move around the game room and the different bedrooms up here, some offices. There's a pool room with a camera, and there's a weapons room. And most of these rooms have loot in it, so we probably have to visit all of them. And then we have another locked door with a gear mechanism that will take us up to the 3rd floor, and that we are going to need to do as well. There's a guard beyond this little window, but we're going to head in here first. Actually, yeah, in here there's only a readable. That's interesting for us. I know well that thy father was a loyal supporter in time gone by. Most greatly did we appreciate his generosity in building the chapel upon Truart estate, where mine brethren and myself did give praise to the builder. However, the worship of the builder has come forward, while thy chapel doth remain in the past, for its walls and panels are still decked in the symbols of our old ways. For one who hast renounced these antique trappings, such things are deeply offensive. Thou must think strongly upon replacing them with the more modern and appropriate symbols of the present age. Brother Tickspring. So he probably is referring to mechanist symbols then. Here is a probable book. And here there is a chest with a healing potion. Not necessary, and it does not count as a secret. And this... we have to lock. Alright, so this is a guard with the 19th pickpocket. And this guard has a balcony key, I believe. I'm pretty sure.
we cleaned up those cesspools of filthy taffers. Every one of them either buying or selling. Cut you through as soon as they look at you.
Yep, that's the 19th pickpocket.
That's the best thing for them.
And in here, it's another guard with the other copy of the estate key. You can take that from the doorway here without getting seen. But you can't move past here without getting spotted, so you actually have to do a little trick. To use a rope arrow, and then jump over the door frame.
What's there?
Okay, I don't think I'm far enough down the hall, actually. Do that. You can get over his view, field of vision. Let's take the statue here. Bathroom with 1 water arrow in the tub. That statue was worth 15, by the way. We should have 860 now, yes. There are 2 guards, I think. At least. A third one later on, after one of the conversations. Here is a blue vase, worth 100, total 960, and there's another readable. Officer Morgan, cease these bribes immediately. There is more than enough street garbage we can simply scrape off the pavement that we do not need to pay for more. If your snitches could ever turn up serious ones, I might consider it. But look at your recent list. Festal, Black Rat, Hops. These are the worst you can find, and none of them other than poor street filth. Watch Sergeant Harwin. There's a small robot here as well. This wasn't locked, was it? No, it was not. This is the game room. I think this is an empty room, actually. Empty bedroom. So there's Benny. He has a conversation. We are not going to trigger that yet. Let's move in here. In here we have a chest with a noisemaker arrow. Nothing else. This takes you into the game room as well. And this is door to the balcony. Both of these doors are pickable. But since they respond to the balcony key, I will obviously not pick them open. I don't think anybody comes in here. People go through the game room. Here's a moss arrow, and in here I think there's an invisibility potion, of all things. I believe so. I'm going to make a real save here. Coming up on a tough move.
I can't believe...
Okay, I'm going to start this one a little bit over again. I'm going to explain a few things. So, Benny has a conversation with a maid. And there is a bottle of wine behind the counter that he could alert to us taking. So we have to use the conversation to take that bottle. And we have to avoid getting caught by this robot that also goes into the area behind the counter. So let me see if I can do that. There's a certain sequence to it. And I also want to, of course, listen to that conversation. We also have to take his purse, Benny's purse, but that shouldn't be too difficult. I think this is a good chance to do it. I'm not going to close this door because we're going to go back in here anyway.
I can't believe that some coffer went and spilled mead all over that rug!
Benny, you spilled the mead on the rug. Anyway, someone is on their way up to clean it up already.
But you don't understand! These coffers have no respect for some...
So 2 guards came through the guard room right as I was doing that. one from either end. We have to wait for them to go through. I had no clue with that bad timing. There's also a total of 9 pairs of coins here and a stack of gold coins on the tables. There is a gold goblet or a goblet over by the fireplace on the floor, and then there's also a secret in this room that we have to take. Okay, I think this is a good time.
I can't believe that some tougher went and spilt mead all over that rug!
Benny, you spilled the mead on the rug. Anyway, someone is on their way up to clean it up already.
But you don't understand! These kafirs...
So he sees me there. I'm gonna have to try this a couple of times.
I can't believe that some tougher went and spilt mead all over that rug!
Benny, you spilled the mead on the rug. Anyway, someone is on their way up to clean it up already.
But you don't understand! These kafirs have no respect.
So he continues talking, but he still sees me.
I can't believe that some tougher went and spilt mead all over that rug!
Benny, you spilled the mead on the rug. Anyway, someone is on their way up
So
to
wait a
clean it
little
up
bit, see if
already.
he can settle down.
But you don't understand! These kafirs...
He sees that as well.
I can't believe that some tougher went and spilt mead all over that rug!
Benny, you spilled the mead on the rug. Anyway, someone is on their way up to clean it up already.
But you don't understand! These kafirs have no respect for such beautiful things!
Benny, I think you've had too much to drink. Aren't you supposed to be on duty?
So, what if I am? Anyways, I work better when I'm drunk. It makes me fearless. If I see a bad guy, I'll just point my sword at him and say,
We might have it here.
Hey, bad guy! You're not supposed to be here! Go home or I'll stick you with my sword till you go. Ouch, I'm dead. See? Ain't no one gonna be messing with old Benny.
Whatever, Benny. I think you should go sleep it off. No more mead for you.
Okay, so that is the only way to get the bottle behind the counter there, is doing it during their conversation because they don't alert. This is one of those pieces of loot that I didn't take for Supreme back in the day because I didn't use conversations to get around first alerts, but that is totally legal. If you're not triggering the alert, you're not getting spotted. I mean, he is absorbed in his conversation and other things he has already absorbed. And that makes him not notice me. So the fact that they don't give first alerts is not a way to get spotted even though you're not getting the alert. We also took his purse, which was worth 50, so we should have 1,060 right here. Over here is a goblet, and there you can see the little puddle, that's the mead on the floor. So we're gonna have to extinguish that, or not extinguish it, wash it up with a water arrow. And that is a secret, actually. But we're gonna get the other piece of loot first, without getting a first alert from any of them. Stack of gold coins. Five coin pairs. And there should be 4 more over on this table. There we go. So that's total 1190. Head over here. We're going to use a water arrow to clean this up. We have to do it when that robot is pretty far away. So that he heard. It heard. Not he. That it didn't hear. So what we did now was actually remove this crayman's head that slid over, and we can take a necklace behind it. There's no way to reset that. Necklace is worth 100, total 1290. It's just easier to do everything that I did now coming from the southern entrance there. So we could actually get all the loot in this room. His purse was the 20th. No. 21st pickpocket. Oh my goodness, I didn't do that even. He heard that. How did he hear that? It has to be when the...
Can't get a simple mug of coffee.
It's the 21st pickpocket. Good. I think that warrants another real save, doesn't it? There. This is a pickable door, but it responds to the estate key. Now we're going to head into the pool room. Nobody comes through here, but they go into the pool room, rummage around there a little bit, and then come back out. So we're going to go into the pool room and get 3 pieces of loot and a silver gear that we're going to need to head up to the 3rd floor. 3rd floor is very short, so we're not too far away from being done here. The game room is the most difficult part remaining, so... We're probably safe here, actually. Though I'm not sure. I think he is going that way. Let's see, we gotta time this thing. He sees us if we move too fast here. Oh. So that spins all the way around, but they don't circle. They go back the same direction. Now we can go. Green base. Gold vase, green vase, and then in here is a silver key.
Probably never was true. I just believed him like a taffin. They're probably laughing at me now.
Oh.
Behind my back. Not true at all.
Didn't know that. She was coming in there. Okay, I might have to just leave a little bit faster, but I can do that. Does this work? It does. This is just the bathroom. Nothing in there. We're gonna head in here. This is a room we need the estate key for. I think this is a pickable door too. There's a camera in there as well, so we're gonna have to time that. Alright, in here. And on the counters here are 4 broadhead arrows, 2 noisemaker arrows, 3 water arrows, 2 moss arrows, a fire arrow, and a mine. And there's another secret here, but we're not going to get the count for it because it involves shooting or throwing a scouting orb into the target, and that opens this. And here there's a gas mine. That's the 5th secret that I've shown you. We've only taken 3 of those. We can take this hammer instead. It's worth 50 total, 1540. Let's wait for that guard to come.
Odd noises.
Wait another round and see.
Something there? Surrender!
See, this should be good right now. Yep. Okay. Here is a security power. That's for the cameras, I believe. And here's a readable. I went and lost my silver gear, and now I can't get up to the 3rd floor. I tried knocking on that blasted door for an hour, but no one would open it for me. Last time I saw it was before I took a swim. Please return it to me if you find it. I will be in the game room, Officer Benny. Okay, so that's silver key. Silver gear we need to use here. And now we're going to listen to a conversation up top. Sorry about my voice today. It's not COVID, I assure you. I know because I got vaccinated twice. So this is responding to the bronze key, which there are 2 copies of up top, and we do not need to take. So I'm going to skip that door. It's just an alternate route back to the 2nd floor. We're going to listen to a conversation now, and we're going to grab a purse from my guard coming down from the 3rd floor.
Hurry! Sound the alarm! Seal off the area!
Why? What happened?
Not this guard.
Sheriff Truart has been killed! The killer must still be in the building!
What? The sheriff's been murdered?
The sheriff's been murdered? Wow, that gives us new objectives. So confront the sheriff with the recording is obviously impossible when he is killed. Search the murder site for evidence about who killed the sheriff.
How?
I don't know! Sound the alarms! Get help! There's a murderer loose!
Truart's been murdered! Find the killer!
Damn. Someone beat me to the sheriff.
I'm gonna have to take
I
the
better
purse
keep a
now.
low profile or else I'll be pinned as the killer.
Good. Took that purse, and the other guy had a bronze gear. We do not need that bronze gear, but those were the last 2 pickpockets, I believe. That was, yeah, wasn't it? That was 22 and 23. I don't think there are any pickpockets on the top floor. So that was it. And we should have 1590. Yep. Good. Let's do another wheel save here. When we come upstairs, there's going to be another conversation here, a follow-up to what we just heard.
I heard a commotion coming from Truart's room, but on my way to check it out, it stopped. When I got to the room, I swear I saw a dark shape running off. I should have taken a shot at him. That's when we saw the boss had been killed.
Did you get a look at the killer's face?
Nah, it was too fast. It was standing right over his body, and I must have spooked it. When it saw me, it flew right out the doors and off the balcony. I never seen anything move like that. It couldn't have been human.
Don't tell me. You think a monster killed the sheriff?
Like I said, I don't know what it was. I sure am glad I wasn't in the room when that thing was ripping up the sheriff. No one should have to die like that.
Interesting. So let's take a look at the map for the 3rd floor. So we're right here now. The woman and the other guard that are talking is right down here. So we can't move this direction. And there are doors closed here. These 2 rooms here are also impossible for us to get into. We're going to listen to another conversation in this room a little bit later. All the other rooms are available to us. But the whole 3rd floor is pretty empty. To be honest with you, there's a couple of loot pieces we're going to pick up. And Truart's bedroom is the main one. The balcony here is important as well. So we are going to head this direction. We need the estate key. Green vase and a plate. And then in this room there is a purple vase. Total 1700. This is a door to the staircase that takes you down to the northwestern area, so that is how you can approach the Great Hall from a side door here, but you need a bronze key to get in there. You need a bronze gear rather to get in there, or on the south end. So we already have the metal gear, and that'll open up the double doors coming from the 2nd floor, and that is actually much easier because you can time the patrols perfectly, and you can get the piece of loot in the Great Hall much better. I guess it is possible to come from either of these staircases, but I have not been able to do it coming up from below. That is just too difficult. But we don't need to go down here. So we can move this room here. I think it's just the bathroom. Yeah. You can move through there, but I'm going to go through here instead. That door takes us out to the balcony. This room is empty otherwise. We're going to actually take a trip through the attic. I think that's stealthier to do for us. So up here, there is a chest, and I believe there is a slow fall potion in that. If you go through here, we can actually go onto the roof. So this is another map that we haven't seen before. And here we can actually get into another section of the attic. This has a flash bomb, I think. Yep. And we can head down here, and we're actually going to get now to Truart's bedroom the back way. And that checks off breaking into the sheriff's bedroom suite. A couple of patrollers here. We're going to wait for them.
Is someone there?
Okay, that's pretty good timing, actually. So here we have...
There's probably something in this room that will tell me who killed Truart.
The sheriff? Here?
This is what I'm looking for.
So the nobleman, there is a nobleman as a swordsman. Nobleman is much, much faster.
There's probably something in this room that will tell me who killed Truart.
Let's go ahead and read this one. Dear Valari, prostitution in this city is a huge problem, and I plan on cleaning it up, so you should keep a low profile. I've taken the measures to protect you that we discussed. I live a demanding life now that I'm the most important person in town, and meeting with you is my only means of relaxation. I do not consider you equal to the rest of the scum that lurk the streets, so I'm going to give you special treatment as long as you take care of me when I need you. Norman Truart. Here's a bronze key, or bronze gear as well. But that's everything in here. So I'm going to be faster and take the key ring.
There's probably something in this room that will tell me who killed Truart. This is what I'm looking for.
So Mosley's keyring. You might remember one of the lieutenants as Mosley. So maybe she has something to do with this. So now we are heading through the bathroom, and we are going to listen in on a last conversation here.
How could the killer make his way through the estate and up to the 3rd floor without being seen by any of the guards or servants? He must have been close to Truart.
I'm not so sure. Whoever did this wasn't concerned about making it look like an accident. Killing the sheriff in his own house, in his own bedroom. It makes a statement. Not the sort of thing you'd want to do to someone close to you if you didn't want to get caught.
Good point, but I still think the killer had help on the inside.
Oh, the sheriff lives in the most secure manor in the city. No one can get in without a key, and there's mechanist security everywhere. Yeah, I'd say it was an inside job.
Not too surprising. Truart didn't show a lot of discretion when recruiting for the Watch. Hell, half the force used to work for the Downwinders, Ramirez, and every other crime boss in the city.
That's true. Truart made more than his share of enemies since becoming sheriff. Anyone living outside of Dayport has a decent motive. I guess the Downwinders had something to do with this. Donald wasn't too happy when we raided his casino and shut him down. He probably sent one of his ghouls to deal with the sheriff.
I'm willing to bet a month's pay the entire force is dry-eyed over this. No big secret that the sheriff was dirty. I figure Lieutenant Mosley will assume control of the city watch and clean up the mess. As for me, I ain't gonna do a thing except go back to my desk, fill out a report, and have a mug of coffee.
Well, we don't have to worry about Mosley ending up in someone's pocket. Anyone trying to bribe her would end up with a broken limb or two. Maybe we'd end up doing some good around here for a change.
Interesting conversation, that. That wasn't an alert, was it? I got a from somebody. Okay, I don't want to risk that. I'm not going to listen to the conversation over again.
There's probably something in this room that will tell me who killed Truart. This is what I'm looking for.
Because we don't need to listen to that, I am... Instead... we are going to grab his body. because there's actually a hidden objective connected with burying his body in the grave that we saw earlier. That is not an objective that I discovered on my own. I can't remember if I read it or somebody told me, but first time I played it, you know, I don't know, 20 years ago. So we should be able to drop here without taking any damage. Yeah, if we land sort of on the top of the door frame there. Let's see. We did close the door up there and lock it, yes. So now we're on the second floor, and we're going to have to now head to the Great Hall area. With...
I don't like seeing things.
Oh, wow. There is, that's correct. There is a guard that is probably the guard from upstairs that are now patrolling this floor. She typically runs. Until she starts patrolling. That's difficult to know. Oh, wow. Yeah, so this can be a little bit tough to navigate. See, I'm hoping that we can get through here.
Surrender now!
Okay, wow, I've never experienced this before. I'm confused on what to do right now. At this point, I'm kind of considering just dropping down from the balcony. I'm going to make a real save here and see. I didn't anticipate this.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so now he started walking. Or maybe that wasn't the same person.
Got to get the sheriff to scream better.
Can wait in here, I guess. It's much easier if we can just get by. It's just one hallway there. Because the Great Hall doors are right there. The guards running usually settle down after a little bit. I'm not sure what triggers that. saved, so...
Hello?
Oh, he saw the body, I think. No.
Yep.
I'm just going to check if I
Hello?
closed
Don't move. Drop
everything
your
here. Yeah. Everything is closed and locked, so that's good. Can be a little bit difficult to remember sometimes with carrying a body. Okay, so this is where we need to be. I'm going to go downstairs a little bit and drop his body first. We also have to remember to return the 2 keys. Estate and balcony key. Not sure if they come all the way over here.
Get a new pair of boots.
Oh, this is absolutely perfect. What a perfect timing. Okay.
I don't like the look. You made a...
So, okay, we have to wait a little bit. I was... the 2 guards there.
Who's there?
Wait, like 3 seconds. A little bit lucky as well with the archer down there. Queen vase.
My dogs are killing me.
Gold vase.
I'm gonna get a new pair of boots.
Save it there.
Sheriff's just as
Green vase, 1900. That's max.
Hey, look there!
That's max for Supreme. Alright. I don't think he should be an issue if we just hang on a little bit here.
Don't like seeing things I don't know about.
He should turn right here. Yeah. So then both of them have their backs turned to us. You can do this in one go if you're good. Gotta be a little bit lucky also with that. Yeah, and they can see you sideways. The archer there you can't really control to the same extent because she randomly pivots. Give it a save there. So she looks our way now. Whoa.
What?
Yeah, it's really sucks that she is facing my way now. Because you cannot move fast here then.
What?
My dogs are killing me. Time to get a new pair of boots.
Might be able to just go like this. All the way out, I'm not sure. Try. Yeah. Great. We can't relock that door, obviously, because the gear is stuck. Whoa. I was trying Mosley's keyring to see if that worked, but... No. 1900. 200 less loot than we can get. So now we just have to get his corpse and return the keys and leave. And returning the keys shouldn't be that difficult when we come this direction.
Punching some other guy. And then Truart bites her head off. You say the wrong one.
I just gotta see where people are here.
Say again? I heard that. Let's see who you are.
Is someone there?
Thought this would be a...
Oh, we can't do that. I was trying to jump from carpet to carpet, but that's tough with doorways. Don't know if he sees the door being open, so I'm gonna wait. Two patrollers pretty close. That's actually pretty good. That means we should have time to... drop off the key there.
Huh? What was
Oh, a third. Oh yeah, that's right. There is a third patroller because we triggered him on the second floor. So he comes down. Or no, yeah, we did. We did. I was thinking it was the sleeping guy, but we didn't wake him up. We skipped that. So I'm hoping we should be good here. I'm hoping the first one isn't going to return now. Yeah. There's nobody in there. Somebody could see us through here, though. There we go. This is why it's a benefit to sort of move around this floor clockwise. Okay, save it there. Now, all we have to do is drop back the balcony key, but we should follow the guard here to do that. Good. Okay. Can be a little stressful, the end of this mission. The third floor isn't hard, but there's a certain unpredictability, I guess, then, that I didn't really know about.
Fire.
with the
eyes on the Taffer,
running
the bright-eyed heir of
patrollers.
Flannel reports he's gonna be sorry his mother ever taught him how
Drop
to
the
lead.
balcony key here. We locked the doors, right? Well, that we never used. Check. Yep. I should be good here. I don't like the fact that the carrying the body skin disappears when you reload. Doesn't seem realistic, so. Alright, so that's Blackmail. We just have to take the little long and arduous road back to the cemetery and then back to the beginning area. Good. Alright, so next mission in this campaign, of course, is Trace the Courier, which is, needless to say, probably the weakest mission in the whole game. Along with casing the joint, probably. So let's drop Truart's body in here, give him a proper burial. New objective, bonus objective. It's time to bury the differences between you and Truart. That should be it. So we can just head back, and once we reach the outer wall, mission should end. Good. Hope you guys are enjoying this campaign, and T2X, of course, we're going back to that campaign next. That was a successful Supreme Ghost run of Blackmail. Total time 1 hour, 7 minutes, 53 seconds. Found 1900 loot out of 2100. We skipped 4 pieces of loot. We skipped a purse in the torture chamber and a silver nugget beyond the gate in the torture chamber. You can't get down there without either breaking a board, which is against all ghost modes, or going down the fireplace, which extinguishes the light in the fireplace, and that's not allowed for Supreme. We also skipped a silver nugget in a hidden, or a wall space, a chest in a wall space in one of the nobleman's bedrooms. The sleeping nobleman wakes up when you pick the lock on the door, and that's not allowed for Supreme. That's a first alert. Exactly the same thing happened in the guard quarters, where we had to skip another silver nugget in a pickable footlocker right next to his bed. So he wakes up from that. So that's the 4 pieces of loot, 50 each of those 4. Pockets picked 7 out of 23. That is minimum. To Supreme Ghosted, at least in my opinion, you have to take 7 pickpockets. Some of them are loot, of course, but there are some gears as well. Pockets picked 0, backstabs and knockout 0, no damage dealt taken or healing taken, nothing and nobody killed, no Iron Beast destroyed or disabled. We found 4 out of 6 secrets. We did not get the count for the secret then reaching the torture chamber, and also not opening the panel in the weapons room on the 2nd floor, because you can't close that panel, and I don't like to leave things open if I don't have to. Campaign totals time so far 6 hours, so the 39 minutes 9 seconds. Loot so far 12,116 and 8 damage dealt. Now, my score breakdown a little bit for this mission. Pros is there's a nice story, and I really like the twist towards the end. You don't really see that coming, that the sheriff gets killed. There's quite a bit of secret stuff and hidden things around the mission. And if you ghost it, at least, it's actually quite difficult. Especially if you want to go for all the pickpockets, things like that. That can be very challenging. And that is a good thing for replayability. I wouldn't say the casual run is that difficult, but ghosting is always more difficult than not. So, cons, I would say that the interior of the mansion is a little bit boring. There's a lot of empty rooms, especially on the upper floors. A lot of bedrooms that look the same. The outdoors is also poorly utilized, I think. The area outside the proper, like the 4 buildings in the beginning of the mission, are not that interesting. Sort of copy-paste. And the yard outside the manor could have been done a lot better. But there's probably limitations what they could do back then. It also doesn't look that nice. It looks just too sterile, I think. And is the mission a little bit linear? Maybe. There are areas you can, non-linear sections, especially on the first floor. But once you get up, you are forced in a certain order to do things. So I was trying to compare this to eavesdropping, and I really could not separate them. They are both like average to sort of good missions. They're okay, but they're not missions that I want to replay again right away. So I'm going to give it the same score. I think I gave eavesdropping 72%, so I'm going to keep this one as well to 72. 7.2 out of 10. You know, that's a pretty good average score. You know, not great, but not bad. It's okay. So yeah, that's my take on it. Give me yours, please, in the comments. And I will see you back for T2X next time. Till then, stay safe. Have a good night. Bye-bye.